Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change.
Indeed.
This week we are continuing with our watch of the second season of Veronica Mars with the episode Cheatty Cheatty Bang Bang, in which things don't go very well for the Casablancas family. But first, we will talk about World of Dance. The element of mystery here is that we're talking about last week's episode and not the one that's going to be on tonight as you hear this.
So if you're listening to this on Wednesday and wondering what the heck we're talking about, we're a week behind. We're always a week behind. It's a very parenting thing to be a week behind in your TV viewing, right?
Exactly. Yes. So this was the fifth episode of the season, the Callbacks. Terry, I want you to tell me what you thought and make sure you leave everything on the dance floor. Everything.
Well, I was happy that if somebody had to be crying, it wasn't a child. So there was a crying woman in high heels, the high-heeled group, but the kids...
Yeah, did you know that was like a dance genre, heels? I
did not know that. And one I would stay far, far away from. But I had to laugh. My husband came... Occasionally my husband comes walking through the room as quickly as he can when I'm watching World of Dance. And he was commenting, they were showing their feet, and he was commenting on why they're dancing in those ridiculous shoes. And I said, you know what? Last time they were on... J-Lo told them their shoes were too high and they should take an inch off of them. So these are the less high heels. And he rolled his eyes and walked away. Yep. His point having been proven, I think. This is all silly. But even with the lower heels, they did not move on.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with them.
I wasn't really impressed with anybody in these callbacks. But, I mean, they were all fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I've just been getting audition fatigue, which surely the judges must be as well.
Yeah.
But I was amused by the fact that everybody was in the other room watching the other people dance.
Yeah.
And occasionally throwing shady glances like, we're better than them.
Yeah.
Or, geez, they're doing good. I don't like that. So they're going to take my spot. So that was kind of, that added a little drama to it. Mm-hmm. And I also, for some reason at the beginning, thought they said there were 6 groups dancing and 4 spots. So I thought, well, almost all these people are going to get in. That's great. And then some they didn't show the whole dance. And I thought, you only got 6 dances to show and you're not going to show everybody's whole dance. And then I realized they're still coming. There are still more.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There are more than 6. There are lots more than 6.
There were
10 in all. 10 for 4 spots.
And I did think they could have shown all of everyone's dance.
I would have prioritized showing all of everyone's dance over cute banter by the judges.
Yeah.
These judges do banter cutely, but it's a dance competition show. This is the last dance of their lives for this competition. Show their whole dance. If their dance isn't good enough to show the whole things, then don't call them back, I feel bad. I feel bad for the dancers who this is their chance to be on TV and they're getting 3 seconds so that we can see family pictures of Derek and his family, which was an adorable picture, but still, come on, let's move it along. That was too bad. I did like the way they did the eliminations at the end.
Right.
That instead of calling, I'm not sure they could have fit everybody.
Yeah.
But, instead they did them in groups that were sort of roughly... Somebody used to do a 2 stars, 1 spot thing on the web. Somebody associated with Extra Hot Great or Television Without Pity. There was something in that universe that did 2 stars, 1 spot. And that's what this felt like. Okay, we have these 3 groups that are sort of the same thing.
Right.
One of them is going to go through. Right. Or 2 groups or 4 groups or however they worked it out. But that seemed good because then even the losers got a little more screen time.
Right. And they usually had company. They were
exactly
not the only ones.
Yes.
Out of their group that were going home.
So that was cool. I liked that. And the ones that went through and the ones that didn't, okay.
Yeah.
Bring on the duels.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on.
I'm still a little confused by the fact that it is like the junior division and the not.
Yeah, how does that work?
How does that work? Because
is there a junior winner and a senior winner, or senior
it's
adult winner?
Really unclear. And they've never. I mean, maybe you have to have been watching it from the beginning, and we've just
probably
missed out.
Yes, so. I don't know. Another thing I wished that they had done, and maybe this is, I'm asking for them to do lots and lots of things that would have taken more time, and maybe they're mutually exclusive, but I would have liked to have a little bit of their first performance before we saw the second one, just so I could remember who they were.
Yeah.
Because they weren't all in the same costumes.
No.
And I didn't necessarily have 100% total recall of who got called back.
Right.
So there were a couple I recognized because they had striking looking members. And I certainly remember the high-heeled women and stuff like that. But there was a lot of them that I was like, what did they do the last time? It would have taken like a 5-second clip. Mm-hmm. Just so, yes, I remember those costumes. Okay, I'm on it. I don't know why they wouldn't have done that. That seemed weird to me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, the same sort of mystery as why they can't show the whole dance of all of them, or at least more of it. I mean,
yes. The judges probably have certain minute amounts of FaceTime in their contracts. So, what can we do? We can make it coherent for the audience, or we can show J-Lo's blinged-out drink cup.
Her collection of blinged-out drink cups. Because there's more than one.
Yes. Well, yes. I enjoy her fabulousness. It is entertaining.
Yes.
And her, general benevolence towards her co-judges, but at the same time knowing who is on the top of the pecking order.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes
who is the boss here? It is quite clear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, she knows. So, well, I'm interested to see where this goes from here. I enjoyed it, and the duels sound interesting, and I wonder what the dance circuit looks like now. I mean, must be all these dance schools that do all these different things. Because some of these look just like, a bunch of dancers from a particular studio that go together and do competitions. Right. It doesn't look like they're necessarily professional to the degree that they sometimes seem to be on So You Think You Can Dance. And I mean, I remember when I was a very mediocre dancer at my dance studio when I was a kid, but I know there were some kids who competed. I don't know what they competed in. I was never in that set that I might have aspired to be, but a combination of my lack of talent and my lack of pull. Make sure I was the one who pays for my classes so that other people can go do fabulous things. But it must be a whole industry now for these studios to have this. You're not just taking jazz class, you are taking competitive jazz, and we go to these competitions, and maybe the top class in that rank goes to World of Dance every time they have an audition, and the elite ones from that class go to So You Think You Can Dance every time there's an audition. And wow, it's really must be something, because some of these kids just look like they just look like kids. They look like kids in a dance class to me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I think you're right that there's a whole circuit of schools and competitions and judges and who knows.
Yes, and all these little troupes have one or two dancers that draw your eye, and the rest are just kids from the dance class to fill out the back. Which is why J-Lo makes the point. Put your stars in the front.
Ones in
okay?
front.
The rest of you, we don't really need to see you.
Exactly.
Oh, truths about showbiz from J-Lo. We're there for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will tune in next week tonight, but discuss next week the duels,
we shall.
Where it's similar genres against each other. Maybe they didn't let in those heels ladies because they were the only ones.
Could they have asked one of the guy groups, you guys, you want to compete? We got some disco heels for you. Let's see how you do. There were some times in the 70s where the guys' heels were not that much shorter than the girls were wearing. I had a short boyfriend, and he enjoyed that time of history.
Love it. Okay, so we'll see what happens. And
yes,
we will move on to Cheatty Cheatty Bang Bang on Veronica Mars. This was the third episode of season 2.
Yes.
And
the bang bang in that title, sort of a red herring, because I thought it was going to cast back to the fact that last week we saw Mr. Casablancas shooting guns. But
yes, exactly.
Nope.
No, this
I don't know
week
what
he
it
was
refers
just
to exactly.
Scurrying through the halls of his office with the SEC hot on his heels, shouting, "Shred it!"
It's just
shred
delicious.
everything.
I should be mad at the rich guy getting away, but it was just completely unexpected and hilarious.
Yes.
And leaving
And also,
Cassidy
I'm sure
standing
he
there.
didn't get away. Like, yes, he had a helicopter just handily waiting on the rooftop of his building, but they were already in the building, the SEC. Like, there was no way that he was going to actually get away with it. He'll just join Aaron Eccles and the Canes.
I think there's a lot of parentless boys in this town now.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Is social services aware? Logan is rattling around in his house having inappropriate relationships, and Duncan is in his hotel room all by himself. Well, maybe not always all by himself, but still. And now the Casablancas boys are going to be at loose ends.
They're going to be on their own because Dad took off.
And I think, stepmom's going to jail.
So much as...
So, he just that was hilarious. That was really funny just because I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah.
And he'd obviously prepared for this moment so carefully. And, all his minions immediately went to the shredders, and his son is standing there going,
Dad?
What is happening right now?
He didn't even say, come with me, son. I'm getting on a chopper.
He's like, what did you do? And then he's off. See, you should have stayed at the karaoke bar so that Veronica could explain to him about his father's thing. But no, he saw Logan and he was off, so.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Poor business teacher. Not going to get to go on his sailboat.
That was sad. And he was so noble that he wasn't going to sell his worthless Casablancas real estate stock. Because
I like that guy. I hope we see him again since he's not retiring. I hope he doesn't go off to detention with Jane Lynch, and we never saw him again.
And then in the larger mystery, it was the guy who washed up on the beach with Veronica's name. Mm-hmm. She eventually determined that he was connected to Aaron Eccles.
Yes. So did indeed Aaron say, here's how I want to get revenge on Veronica. Fix the bus that she's probably going to be on and run it off a cliff.
Yeah, which seems inefficient.
Yes. At the time, watching the episode and making those connections, I was like, ooh. And then I listened to Veronica Mars Investigations podcast, and they were like, it's too soon in the season. And I said, that's right, it's too soon in the season. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to be it. And as they pointed out, if Aaron wanted to kill Veronica, there's so many easier ways.
Yes.
Like doing something to her car. You don't really need to have a school bus that kills a bunch of people.
Right.
So.
Except Meg, which we did briefly learn a few episodes, must have been in
last episode.
Episode 2 that she's actually alive and in the hospital, so that's gonna come back.
Unlikely as that seems, somewhere along the line it will come back. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where this is going, since it clearly seems to be something, but it's not the thing we think it's going to be. He could have planted evidence that she did something, and maybe writing on the guy's hand, somebody wrote on the guy's hand, is trying to do that. Mm-hmm. But it will, if nothing else, allow Harry Hamlin to have another guest starring appearance on an episode somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
And, to be questioned about it and to be creepy.
As they pointed out on the podcast, why, if Logan hates his dad, as he told Duncan in the last episode, why does he still have a zillion pictures of him all over the walls?
He told Duncan in this episode, he said, I hate him too.
Oh, because that's when they had the fight, right?
Right, when they had the fight. Aren't they cute? But, you know, I'm pretty sure Logan could have done more damage if he wanted to. Logan has gotten a lot more experience with fighting than Duncan has, but, so he still likes him somewhere. But yes, I would think that he would have a bonfire or a baseball bat session with Dad's many photos, and why he has not done that is inexplicable.
Yes.
Well, the reason he hasn't done that is so that Veronica can see the poster.
Right, we needed that moment.
I destroyed all the other posters, but I liked this one, and I just left it. He would have at least gone on there and, like, could have defaced his dad's photo or something, you know.
There you go.
Could have drawn graffiti over all of them. Or,
yeah, that would have felt good.
I don't know. He's been busy, you know.
That's true. Apparently. He has been very busy.
As many girlfriends as implies to Veronica.
And the Future Business Leaders Club.
Yes.
That takes time. Also.
Yeah, so as they also mentioned on the podcast, I noticed and commented to my husband as we were watching it that camera Veronica carries is like bigger than her. Yes. Seriously? Nobody notices her standing around taking pictures? Who is that tiny girl, like, setting up a monstrous photographic device?
In a gym where people expect
it's going to stick
privacy
out,
and
you know?
Discretion.
Or on a beach where she's, like, standing across the street from where they're doing things. Nobody sees.
Exactly.
I think that is weird, especially since at that point, Kendall has already seen Veronica when she was doing the iPhone switch or the shuffle switch or whatever device that was, you know, non-branded listening device.
Yes. Which
makes me think of iCarly when all the computers had pairs on them.
Yeah. And that, you know, Kendall handily never puts it in a bag or a pocket or anywhere where it would just be taking pictures of the inside of the container.
No, she likes to listen to her music. Let me set this up somewhere where we can listen to my music to keep our heart rates up while we do whatever it is we're going to be doing.
While we swap these gym bags or...
Yes, while we engage in securities fraud or, I don't know, statutory rape. Is Logan 18 yet? Wasn't Logan getting a ton of money when he was 18? Did he get that? Because they made a big point of saying Veronica was 18. Was Logan?
Yeah, I don't know if he is yet.
Because if not, Mrs. Casablancas could be arrested for something else, I think.
Right. As they often point out on the podcast, add her to the sex offender registry.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Well, while we're praising the Veronica Mars Investigations podcast, I want to thank them for explaining to me who that was singing Love Hurts in the karaoke bar, because I knew it had to be somebody, because otherwise there was no reason for that to go on as long as it did, with absolutely nothing story-related taking place. So it's like, I don't know who that is, but that is somebody, and I know who's going to tell me who it is. And they did. It was the Dandy Warhol's frontman. Courtney Taylor-Taylor.
After a truly painful performance from some random Neptune High student.
Yes, the less said about the karaoke bar, the better. So that was all on the crime front, I guess. And on the romance front, even the adult romance that I approve of looks like it's going to be veering off into a shady direction.
Yes.
And the teen romances, which I would like to have less to none of, still not liking Wallace's girlfriend.
Well, I don't think she's really his girlfriend.
No. And Wallace is the girl Wallace thinks is his girlfriend.
Who does not reciprocate that.
Yes.
So, yes.
She enjoys being herself very, very much.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's worrying about Alicia, and
I am not happy about the apparently shady past of Alicia. Yes. Not happy at all. And not happy that Keith would not think, all right, I don't know what's going on here. Just in case something is going on here, I'm going to put the elevator to a different floor. Get off, walk down the stairs.
Yeah. I know.
You know, this is a trained guy. Come on, Keith. Have a little bit of game here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is all part of that, as we talked about, I think, last week, Kristen Bell needing a little time off.
Yes.
So we have to introduce some other situations.
I guess, but man.
I know. It's very sad.
This does not look good. So.
Very upsetting.
And yes, I, don't want to think that she's being dishonest with Keith. And so presumably she has a good reason for not saying what the thing is. But all of these, you know, the guy washed up with Veronica Mars's name on his hand, the shadiness involving his girl, all of these are reasons Keith should not be running for sheriff, okay? Putting a target on the backs of your loved ones because people who hate you and want you to lose will make bad things happen. Stop it, stop it, stop it.
I agree.
So, or you will have to investigate things involving your loved ones, and that will not be pleasant either. Just, you know, write another book, man. Apparently you can write super quick.
You are very fast when it comes to that, so...
And you have a good publicist that at least gets you anywhere in the vicinity of the New York Times list, even if it's a ridiculous number.
So, next week, we will talk about the 4th episode of Veronica Mars Season 2. It's called Green-Eyed Monster. And we'll continue with World of Dance with the episode, again, that airs tonight, June 30th. It's the first Duels episode. And that's going to be it for our Round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website, parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.